So now we look at the function of DCT. Yeah? Function of DCT is very interesting one. Okay, how do I explain this? Now, you know that in our PCT, okay, function is selective reabsorption. And you know that PCT, right? There's a fixed, there's a fixed way they reabsorb materials. There's a fixed way they reabsorb materials. What do you mean by fixed way? That means to say that whatever content you have in the glomerular filtrate, okay, glomerular filtrate that flows into PCT, they will definitely reabsorb back. How many percent of water, how many percent of sodium ion reabsorb back? How many percent? Huh? 80. Who's saying? Okay, Megan, correct, 80%. So this one you need to remember, very, very important. So 80% of sodium ion reabsorbed back. How much water being reabsorbed back? 80% also, same, isn't it? So how much water reabsorbed is same as sodium ion. What about those useful molecules like glucose, amino acids, vitamins, hormones? How many percent are reabsorbed? 100%, right? Because they are useful, so we cannot afford to waste any one of them. So 100% will be reabsorbed. And then how many percent of urea being reabsorbed? Urea, anyone? 40 generally correct. So 40%. Okay, so this one you need to remember. So you know that in PCT, there's a standard way for them to reabsorb material. Standard means sodium ion is 80%, water 80%, okay, glucose, the rest 100%, urea 40%. Standard. But the molecules in your body and the solids in your body fluids may not be standard because it depends on your diet, right? Suddenly you want to go for exam and then you have to study, and then the whole night you drink a lot of coffee to make sure that you're alive and your eyes open big. Okay, for the whole night so you can study. Yeah. Okay, so when you drink a lot of coffee, of course your blood will contain a lot of caffeine, right? So that is something additional that normally you don't have unless you drink coffee every day. Or maybe, for example, there's infection, so the doctor prescribed you with antibiotics. Then you take antibiotics, and after that you go toilet, you can smell antibiotic, right? Can, isn't it? Very fast, right? Okay. So of course our PCT will not process all these things because it's standard one. So who will process it? DCT will process it. Okay. Or sometimes you drink something very acidic. Okay. I don't know why. Then your blood becomes acidic. All right. So therefore, all these additional things, DCT is the one that will carry out the fine control of the blood composition. Suddenly got something extra there. Okay. So what they will do is, I just teach you general, after all, it's not in the syllabus. So it will actually remove the additional waste material from the body. So remove what? First is the ammonia, creatinine. Okay, ammonia and creatinine. These are all excess nitrogenous waste. Okay, excess nitrogenous waste. And then we also remove the additional chemicals in the body like antibiotics, caffeine, okay, drugs, etc., chemicals. So this is fine control. Okay. Fine control. Some more, it will regulate the pH. Regulate the pH. Okay, so the pH of your blood must be maintained at certain pH because pH affects enzyme activity, right? pH affects enzyme shape. So how does it regulate pH is very interesting. It will actually regulate pH by removing the H+. So when your blood is very acidic, it will remove the H+ from your blood. And not only it removes the H+, it will also try to reabsorb HCO3 negative. So this is a weak base. So it will remove the acid H+, it will reabsorb the base from the renal fluid so that this will try to reduce the acidity in the blood. So this is how it will do it. Okay. So can you see the first function? I don't need the first function. Okay. Lastly, osmoregulation. That means because DCT is the part of the nephron connected to loop of Henle as well as collecting duct. So the function of DCT has got function of loop of Henle as well as function of collecting duct. So function of collecting duct is osmoregulation. So therefore DCT also has got this function called osmoregulation. So putting everything together, this is first function of DCT. Number one is to remove all the additional things in your blood composition, in your blood. Okay, remove ammonia, remove antibiotics, regulate pH. Number two is to regulate the pH. And number three is osmoregulation. Okay, in general, this is function of DCT. Okay, so now you know the function of loop of Henle and DCT. Next, we're going to look at the function of collecting duct.